Let me tell you something strange, something big, something that sounds like it shouldn't be true. Mount Everest is growing. Yes, the tallest mountain in the world is still getting taller, not by meters or even centimeters, but by 4 millimeters every year. That's about the thickness of 2 stacked coins. It may seem small, but over time that adds up. And the reason why Everest grows is one of the most powerful and exciting forces on our planet. Let's dive in. The Earth isn't still, it moves underneath us. Most people think the ground we walk on doesn't move. It feels solid. But deep under our feet, the Earth is alive. Not in the way a tree or animal is alive, but in the way it moves and changes. The Earth's outer shell is made of huge pieces of rock called tectonic plates. These plates are like giant puzzle pieces, covering the Earth's surface. But here's the wild part. They're always moving. Slowly, yes, about the same speed as your fingernails grow. But they're always moving. Sometimes, these plates move away from each other. Sometimes, they slide past each other. And sometimes, this is where things get interesting, they crash into each other. That's what's happening with the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. A long time ago, India was an island. Let's go back in time, over 50 million years ago. Back then, the piece of land we now call India was not attached to Asia. It was floating in the ocean, all by itself like a giant ship of land. But it wasn't standing still. The Indian plate was moving north, heading straight for the Eurasian plate. And after millions of years of slow travel, boom, they crashed into each other. But here's the catch. Neither plate could sink under the other. They were both made of thick, strong crust. So instead of one sliding under, they began to push upward. And just like that, a mountain range began to rise, the Himalayas. And at the center of this rise was the mountain we now call Mount Everest, a giant still growing. Even now, millions of years later, the Indian plate is still pushing into the Eurasian plate, and Everest is still being pushed upward little by little. Every year, this unstoppable crash causes Everest to grow about 4 millimeters taller. That's tiny, yes, but imagine this. 4 millimeters a year means 4 centimeters every 10 years. That's almost the width of your hand. In 100 years, it's about half a meter, taller than many kids in kindergarten. And it never stops. Every second, every minute, the mountain is slowly rising, becoming even more of a giant. But nature tries to bring it down. While the Earth is pushing Everest up, other forces are trying to pull it down. Think of the powerful winds on Everest. Some are faster than a hurricane. Think of freezing temperatures, snow, ice, and rock slides. These things slowly wear the mountain down. This is called erosion. So it's a kind of battle. The Earth pushes Everest up. Nature tries to pull Everest down. But right now, the pushing wins, which is why Everest keeps growing, even just a little. How do scientists know this? You might wonder, how can scientists measure such tiny changes? How do they know Everest grows 4 millimeters each year? They use high-tech tools like GPS satellites, just like the ones in your phone, but way more powerful. These satellites track the exact location and height of points on Earth, down to the millimeter. In 2020, scientists from China and Nepal used these tools to measure Everest again. They announced a new official height, 8,848.86 meters, or 29,031.7 feet, a little taller than before. And every time they check, they see the same thing. Everest is still rising. Earthquakes can change the story. Sometimes, the slow rise is interrupted. In 2015, a huge earthquake hit Nepal. It was very powerful. It shook the earth and caused many landslides. Some scientists thought Everest might have shrunk because of it. Later, when they measured again, they found the change was very small. But it showed us that earthquakes, which are also caused by moving plates, can sometimes suddenly shift the land. So while Everest usually grows slowly, it can also change suddenly in ways we don't expect. Why this is so amazing? Now let's take a step back and think about how amazing this really is. There is a mountain, the tallest in the world, that is still growing today. And the reason it grows is because the ground beneath us, the very earth we walk on, is not still. It's moving, shifting, and building new land. This is not just a science fact. It's a reminder that our world is alive with motion. Even the tallest peaks are not finished. Even the most ancient places are still changing. Final thought, the living mountain. So next time you see a photo of Everest or hear its name, remember this. It is not just a mountain. It is a living, rising, growing piece of earth being shaped by forces deep below our feet. It is proof that even the strongest things, the tallest mountains, are still becoming. They are still changing. And if Everest can grow a little taller every year, maybe we can too. Want to know more about the world you live in? Subscribe for more.